Big Earl here with Veteran Trash Talk and Gruntworks, and super excited to bring you part 2 of our 3-part series of how to invest your money if you've got money. Now, we're bringing Army veteran Ken back on, and he's going to tell you what to do with your money by going through a scenario with a CPA and myself of what kind of questions you're going to answer and how the system looks. Now, Facebook has a lot of scams, all right, but if you follow Veteran Trash Talk, you know that we're not a scam, and information is power. All you have to do doesn't cost you anything. Scan that QR code right there. I think it's right there, something like that. Yeah, that'll take you to Veteran Trash Talk. Go to the events and say interested in going, all right, to part 2 of Army veteran Ken and financial security. We'll see you then.
Today we got Joe, Trigger Joe Britson.
All right, let's go.
To try to get a matchup with a gun. Oh, goes the lead. Francis is gunning.
Well, this is just a fist. When I start throwing it around, I can leave one hell of a mess. Let's dance.
Multiple occasions. Wow, it looks like they're going to swing to the very end.
And he wasn't kidding. Wow. It's very rare. What a finish.
Another one.
Really poses the question, what do you want to do? Do you want to take a chance and risk getting knocked out? Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Trying to take care of business, trying to get to
It's a knockout! Oh my
It's a knockout!
And it's closing it! Trying to finish it! And it's over!
Because I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Buck is brought to you by Modell.
I killed it!
Punch me right in the face, man.
And we have a new nickname. Okay, we have William Send It 7 Piercing. All right, other than that, we used to call him Willie Pete. We used to call him the Mad Russian.
For his opponent to be quicker on the canvas.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby!
I think you've had enough. Noah? Now you've had enough. Bitch. Wow! How good is this? Finish him!
Another one.
Everybody gets triggered. It's just if you become a pansy. That's in the Book of Earl.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
You gotta be very careful.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What's up, Gruntworks Nation? We are live for UFC 304. All right, Fight Night Picks, where we teach you how to make money, how to bet properly, and and again, the disclaimer: if you don't have any money, don't gamble. All right, if you have a gambling problem, don't do it. Right? Like I know that's easier said than done, but stop being a freaking moron. All right, put the money towards milk for your kid, not towards fights. All right, that's probably the better thing to do. But anyways, we have a very, very special show. Before we get to our guest pickers, we got a big shout out to 10th Mountain Whiskey and Spirit Company. So go there to 10thmountainwhiskey.com.
Put in the code VTT, get yourself a discount. Awesome dudes out of Vail, Colorado, where 10th Mountain started World War I. Their distillery is on that site where they started, so it's a pretty cool place. Other than that, we got the Veteran Trash Talk QR code up there somewhere. Yeah, I think it's like right there. If you scan that, I think it takes you to the subscriber page. The subscriber page is if you don't have a lot of money and you don't want to, buy the things that we're promoting on the show when we have veteran-owned businesses. If you give us $6.99 a month, all right, you get a Veteran Trash Talk button, which looks like that, and it's got 12 veteran sayings on it, like the fucking button, except it says like get to the motor pool and shit like that. So you'll get that, and then you'll get some discounts on shirts. But the main thing is all the profits from that, all right, go to promoting whatever business that we're promoting on the show. So we'll use that money and boost the ads for that person's business. So that we don't keep a dime of it. So if you go there and you can help out that way, that'd be awesome. But with us today, we got Trigger Joe. All right, the champ. Hopefully we're tied.
Oh, it's here.
Yeah,
it's here.
Champ. So what?
Where is Pearson?
Yeah, these two gentlemen don't know that I usually assign them a fight, or they assign each other a fight that they don't know about, and then they have to pick it, and it's a 3-point system. So at every end of the quarter, the last UFC of the quarter, whoever's winning gets the belt. So right now they are dead tied going into the last UFC of the quarter. So
the belt only knows one address. After it was made, it came here and it hasn't left, and it ain't leaving neither.
I'm just saying the artillery held that belt for like 2 years, right? And when the infantry finally got it back, so let's try to keep it. All right, we don't want to give it away.
It's like Mel Gibson when he gets his wife's scarf back in Braveheart. I'm not letting it go this time.
But yeah, so I have before we play this, actually, let's just before I introduce John and Mark, let's play the video clip and then we'll introduce. Awesome. So those are some of the pictures that our Marine producer put together, a little collage, put a little music to it. Thanks for doing that, Chris. But yeah, we got John and Mark. All right, they're part of the Salute to Sacrifice, and I'll let them explain it. But before they do, I just want to say something about John, who happens to be a sergeant major, just like old Bill, who didn't show up, that D-bag artillery guy. All right, they're always in the rear, freaking not doing anything. And I mean, need them. Like, where are they? Right? Like, just pull the string, Bill. All right, couldn't come on and fire the freaking cannon. But Sergeant Major Blyler's retiring, and that is super. I'm super excited for him. And I just wanted to say, we were RIs together in Florida, and Joel will understand this. I always think that I'm like the smartest, coolest person in the room. I've always thought that way. And I didn't listen to a lot of people in my career. All right. But I just want to say that Sergeant Major Blyler's leadership, his professionalism, all that stuff was top notch. And I know everybody learned from him. I know that I learned from him. And, the beautiful thing is the Army made a song that says the Army will keep going along. All right. So they'll miss you in a short time. But I think the people that you touched and you influenced as they progress through the ranks, all right, they're going to make the Army a much better place because you are a great leader. You'll continue it in your next life. So just want to say thank you for your service and how awesome you were as a leader and as a Ranger. So friggin' awesome. Take it away.
Appreciate that. So I'll just start off. Last year, me and a
quite a few of Army buddies. We were talking about how we were going to keep honoring, the attacks on 9/11 and the people lost. And I'm in BCT right now as a brigade CSM, and a lot of these kids coming in were born after 9/11, and they just don't really understand the significance of it because they don't teach it as much as I believe that they should, right? But anyways, we were like, hey, how do we keep this? How do we keep this going, and how do we maintain never forgetting the ones that sacrificed their lives on that day and the fallen soldiers throughout the two wars after the 9/11 attacks? So I'm a big advocate cyclist, and I just randomly was like, well, we should bike to New York. It was really just a joke at the beginning, and then a couple of my friends got behind me, and before I knew it, there was 9 other people that were on board with it. So we cycled last year from Columbia, South Carolina, all the way to the towers up in New York. This year, there was only 6 of us because, people come and go and PCS and ETS and retire out of the Army. So this year, there's 6 of us. We're kind of scattered right now. There's 3 of us that are local here in Columbia and a couple others that are in other states. But we're going to come together on September 7th, and we're going to start cycling from here, and we're going to head up to DC. And that should take about roughly a day for us to do that. And then once we go to the Pentagon Memorial, we'll cycle over to the United 93 over in Pennsylvania, which should take about another day and a half. And then we'll cycle from the United 93 over to the World Trade Center. We'll start at the 7th, like I said, and we should, if my calculations are right, end on the 11th at the World Trade Center.
Your time distance analysis, Ranger. Come on, how long is it going to take you to get there? But no, and then there's another connection here. I wish Bill was here again, but Bill, I think that once he found out that I was getting, what was it? Joe, was I getting a uterus put in? Is that what it was?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think when he saw what that did for me, I think he's doing the opposite because he got one put in so that he didn't have to join the infantry. And now that he wants to be more of a man, he's going to take the uterus out, and then that'll help. But Bill actually is a big advocate and runs with is it Colonel Solheim? Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Yeah, Colonel Solheim, and they were together years ago, and they do a lot of work for the Gold Star Teen Adventures, and we always plug that. He does a lot of running for him, so there is that connection there. And talk about that a little bit. He was the one that kind of challenged you to doing something, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. He was actually the one that I was talking to about, and he was getting ready to PCS, so because he was my brigade commander at the time, and he's the one that said, "Hey, you got to keep this tradition alive, man. And got to keep the talking to people and ensuring that we represent as an Army and keep this tradition and understand that never forget the attacks." And we did what he did is he brought in Marcus Luttrell, if you're familiar with him. For the ones that aren't, the movie Lone Survivor, he was the one that was the medic in the operation. But he brought him in, and we did a huge PT event one year. And since he was getting ready to leave, he's like, "You gotta keep the tradition going." So I was like, "All right, well let's bike up to New York." So he's a great inspiration for obviously the Gold Stars and just the Army, and just a great human being.
Yeah, very awesome. And I had to mute Mark's mic because he's getting some feedback with the iPhone. So Mark, when you're not talking, there should be a mute button on there. Go ahead and click that. But anyways, I'm glad we're doing like a quasi Zoom. We use a different streaming platform, but I want to make fun of Mark, and I can do that now because we're pretty far away from each other. Because you look at the guy's size of his neck, you can tell he's eating baby hearts, and probably
Wheaties.
a bunch of
Wheaties,
right? So
yeah,
I just want to say that I'll keep it pretty professional with you because I'm a little terrified of you, and that's okay. But Mark, tell us a little about yourself and what you got going on.
So I too am a sergeant major, stationed,
scary as fuck.
For Greg Adams. It's funny because John asked me to do something like that. He asked me to do this last year because he knows I love to do running. And I was like, listen, man, I got a lot going on. Because last year I was able to do the David Goggins 4x4x48. And then,
Never heard of them.
And then, in previous years, I've been able to do, I did the death race, which was awesome. I finished that. There was only like 50 of us out of 350 who finished. I've got a couple Guinness World Records for running. I do a lot of these things. The original Guinness World Record that I started with was in 2011, actually May 1st, the day we killed bin Laden. It was for the fastest full marathon wearing a gas mask. It was in Hawaii. We did it with Team RWB. We were able to raise several dollars for that.
Several dollars.
Got hooked doing
$45 for that pain. Yeah. $45 for that pain. Yeah.
Right.
Didn't even cover the marathon.
What's that?
Didn't even cover the marathon.
No. But then it just moved into other things. We're running the furthest distance with a gas mask, which at the time was 43. But of course, there was a Marine who had to, of course, beat it. And then, it was brought back by the Army by a guy in 3rd ID. He did 101 miles. And then I ended up, when I was a first sergeant, doing my first sergeant time in order to kind of bring awareness to soldier suicide. What I did was I rode on a Concept 2 rower, full marathon in a gas mask, which was 42,985 feet or something like that. I can't calculate. I'm sorry, Major. I don't know how to
math.
Yeah.
You got a staff for that.
When John asked me this, I was like, well, I'm doing the 4x4x48. Like, I got a lot going on in my life. And then I told my wife this year, I was like, I think I should do it. And she's like, are you really that bored? I'm like, nah, I think, I really think I should do it. And then John was like, hey, man, I need you to do this. And I'm like, I don't know. And then finally, John's a very convincing human being. So he convinced me, and I was like, he's a good looking guy, and I have no problem sitting in a truck with him, smelling all sweaty and greasy with him for a whole week. So
Nick says that about me.
Yeah.
Very similar to what he says, actually.
Well, we've cuddled some nights before, so it's fine.
Couldn't you see him finishing that marathon? Like, hey, you guys know I had a gas mask on, right? This doesn't cover my entry fee. Can we cover the entry fee at least?
Yeah, there we go.
You put it on.
Yeah, no, that's super awesome.
That's super.
And
what that is.
I can ask you a question, Mark. Do you give hugs out? Like, are you a hug guy?
Hey, I'm just letting you know, I'm like probably one of the most loving human beings in the world. People call me, they say, hey, you're too nice. You're too nice to a lot of the trainees. You're too nice to a lot of the young soldiers. You're too nice to even some of the senior NCOs. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But when a dog barks, the dog will bark.
Yeah. So I was gonna get to that. I'm like, he's like probably really nice because you probably know what happens like when you get mad. So it's like I gotta really, really tone it down, and like I'm gonna be really nice to you, right? So it reminds me of when I used to bounce, and there's always that quiet guy sitting at the bar minding his own business, getting fucked with. I'm like, this isn't gonna turn out good when this guy gets angry, and all of a sudden he just clears out the whole bar. It's like, it's guy's gold glove boxer. I've known him for years, but like he was trying real hard to fucking just ignore you. But there you go. It's like, it is what it is.
He's a big teddy bear, man, but you poke him too much, the monster's coming out.
Yeah, then Ted comes out. Yeah, so it's a different kind of teddy bear. So no, I am really glad to have you guys on. And then, so again, send us updates how the trip's going. We'll put them on Veteran Trash Talk. See if we can raise you guys some more money. And that too, if you guys are watching right now, if you're listening on the podcast later, how do they get to you? How do they donate to you and do all that stuff?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page called Salute to Sacrifice. And within that link, you can go to send. What is it? Give, Send, Go. It's in the bio, and you can just click on that. We've raised 3,000 out of 10,000. So basically, all we're really taking out of the funds, what we raise, is just the gas money to get up there with the 3 vehicles that we're taking. After that, all the other funds are going to go to the South Carolina 9/11 Memorial Foundation here locally, and we'll donate the rest of the donations that we collect and give it to them at the end of the trip.
That's legit. Yeah, well, we'll
awesome.
VTT will give you 500 for sure. We're not making
That was a nice.
money.
That was a nice assist you got in the background too on the fly.
Yeah, I can tell the brains.
Gina,
I can
you're
tell the
awesome.
brains are
Good
there.
luck, Gina.
Yeah, the brains are in the room, right?
Yes.
On the on the fly assist.
Yeah,
Love it.
worry, you're not the first person to be on the show where the wife was kind of sitting back there going, "Don't pick that guy. Don't pick the other guy." That happens to be Tanner Port.
Tanner Port.
He'll probably tune in later. But old Chief Warrant Officer Port, he tries to come out here and talk shit, and his wife will be kicking him. No, not that one. You know, and like it's like so she's the brain. She's the brains behind the operation. But yeah, we'll VTT will donate 500 of that for sure. We would have donated more, but Four Patriots dropped us our sponsor, the Sons of Bitches. No, but they were super cool and great organization. Glad they got to help out a lot of people.
Yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
Can I say one more thing, please?
Anything you want? Yeah.
For me, like the donations are great, right? But I ask anybody watching, like, please share the page. I care more about awareness of what we're doing because it's not about us. Again, what I said before, it's about the ones that lost their lives on the attack that day in New York and in the Pentagon and over in Pennsylvania. And, you know, obviously the fallen soldiers, the men and women that gave their lives for this country. So that's what we're doing this for. It's not about us. So please know that and share if you can, please.
Yeah, and again, that's part of why we started Veteran Trash Talk. We started it to lower the veteran suicide rate, help active duty members out because we were still active duty when we started it, and got a lot of success with the following and people knowing how authentic we are. Because again, you can look up all of our records, you can look up who we are, where we served, and it's like with the internet nowadays, you should never be alone, right? And we figured that out. Like I said, got a good following, and what we started to do was like when we got a following was like, how do we? There's 77,000 veteran nonprofits, right? And it's like, how do we validate the ones, and how do we get awareness to those nonprofits? So like, let's just bring them on the show, and then the CEO will talk about it, and then there's the guy, and like you can ask him any questions you want, and like you want to give money to him, sure, great. We had one claim to fame. I don't know. It's not saying it's gonna happen for you, but I think it was Warriors for the Outdoors, but they got this is a guy who would take about 5 veterans hunting in West Texas, and they got to keep all their equipment after they were done, like the guns, everything. And he's like, somebody made a comment on there anonymously and said, how much does that cost? And he answered it, and he goes, how many guys can you take out a year? And he's like, 12, and he's like, okay, so he got a check for all 12 of those guys for the year. So he was able to double. He was able to double his, his output the next year doing that. So not saying it's gonna happen for you guys. Of course. It is an election. It is an election year, so we're a veteran-owned page, and then we get put to the bottom of the algorithm. Facebook doesn't like veterans during election year, so next year you'll probably get more views on this show a year later. Just is the way it is. But all right, I think we should get into the fights.
Let's do it.
Now remember, don't listen to what I say. Right? I don't pay any attention to this shit. Right? But I've been watching it enough now where I kind of got an idea. So
he's got some better name recognition.
Yeah, I know how to pronounce some of their names now. Like I didn't know how to before. But the first one, and this fight, Joe, is in Manchester, right?
This is definitely in Manchester. There's 11 guys flying the English flag out of 14 fights. So there's almost an Englishman fighting in every fight. So Dana White loves doing that when he goes across the pond. He definitely fills the card with natives. And there's a lot of fighters that can't get a visa because a lot of these guys are under the poverty line if they're not Conor McGregor or somebody big. So a lot of these foreign fight cards, you get to see a lot of fighters you wouldn't see in the States. So
that's pretty cool.
Going to be a wild crowd, though.
Yeah. And Bill hasn't sent me his picks yet. I'll have to get those later, but I know which one Joey picked for him. So when he sends me the picks, that's what we'll do it. Do we have that scorecard? Is it too late to put it up? I forgot that. It's been like 3 weeks since I've been on the show because I've been an alcoholic passed out in an alleyway somewhere. And not showing up on Friday nights. Hasn't changed since last week. Yeah, so they probably both got it wrong or they didn't get a fight. All right, but we got a featherweight fight, and we got Arnold Allen coming in at 19-3. Versus Giga. All right. Chickadaisy coming in at 15-3. Like, I don't know how this guy ever got 15 wins. All right, because nobody named Giga Chica Daisy, all right, sends any type of freaking fear or chill up my spine. All right. But a guy named Arnold Allen, all right, just seems like the kind of dude that you run into at like the local True Value store that, like, you know, his knuckles are all like banged up, and you know, you're in there as a not somebody who knows how to use tools, and you're like, what's a ratchet in the first place?
Yeah.
All right. So then he just hits you over the fucking head with it, you know, and
he's got a
whatever.
5-star fireman mustache. 5 stars.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I'm going Arnold by first round double elbow to the ears. I haven't called that one yet. So if you can find odds on that finish, it's happening. All right.
Yeah, I'll check price picks on that one. Don't
double elbows to the ears. All right. And it's gonna knock out. It's gonna knock out again. All right. But all right, who wants to take the first one? John or Mark?
I'll take it.
All right, do it.
There we go.
So I'll go Arnold Allen. In the second by submission.
Ooh, second round submission. Mark's shaking his head. I do wild things on this show. I think we need to have a bet now, because right now, like, Mark's already just nope. All right, so I tell you what, I don't know if you guys should agree to this. Whoever loses has to buy the other guy a Veteran Trash Talk shirt.
I'm good with it.
So we got some on sale. Yeah, hey, we got some on sale, Mark. Yeah, and you know, you got that one.
That's one of them.
Yeah, okay. Born to Kill. You know, you got the old baseball tee, and then you got our favorite one is Quit Being a Triggered Pansy. That's the #1 seller. So it's just, you know, it's a reminder to all of us. Stop.
It wouldn't be the first that John has made me buy a shirt within the past, I don't know, month or so. So I just keep buying shirts for John.
That's what Sergeant Majors do. They make you buy shirts and ball tickets. That's all they do. Yeah. So all right, Mark, who do you got in this one?
Oh, that's easy. Where's this guy Giga from?
He is from Georgia, not Atlanta either. The Republic of Georgia.
Giga's got a longer reach, and he's from the country of Georgia. Those people.
You're a stat guy.
Those people are they're something else. The other guy, Arnold, he's funny looking. He's probably a boxer. Probably, you know, hops around the ring and everything, and does all these things. So I think Giga's going to get him in the second round, easy.
All right,
with a karate.
But how? Yeah, how?
I said a karate chop.
Karate.
That's funny because Giga is a karate guy. There's not very many of them that are still top level, but he's one of them.
I have a feeling Mark it has a little bit more insider information than we're thinking here, because he drops a karate strike, and then the expert comes on and says, actually, he's a karate dude. So it's like, Mark's hiding something here.
Yeah, Nick, before the show, he tried to tell me the last UFC fight he watched was in 2004, Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, and then he literally comes out with a strike from the guy's actual martial art. So, but what it is what it is. I had no idea this guy was karate dude. All right, let's go to the expert. Let's go to the expert. Trigger Joe, what say you?
Last time I checked, they got Arnold Allen as a 2-1 favorite, and he's fighting in his backyard. He's going to have the home crowd behind him. And it's tricky, though, because Arnold Allen, they just gave him Max Holloway, and Max Holloway is one of the greatest of all time. Has the greatest knockout in UFC history, and he got it at UFC 300 with 1 second left in the fight. So
that won me $350.
No shame in losing to Max Holloway, and then he fought a really competitive fight against Movsar Evloev in his last fight. Totally different guy than Giga. Giga likes to stand. He likes to be at range. He stands straight up and down. He likes to use a lot of kicks. I mean, he literally does a kick that they named after him. They call it the Giga kick because it comes at a really weird angle. Arnold Allen doesn't fight stupid. He does everything very, very well. He knows that that's a big part of this guy's offense. So I'm looking for Arnold Allen to go for his takedowns. He's got him in his bag. In this fight, he definitely got the takedown advantage, and he's a little more well-rounded than Giga on the ground. So I think if it had to stay standing for 15 minutes, I'd put my money on Giga being the underdog because he can knock us out, and he's 15-3. He's fought some pretty good competition, but his last fight was against Alex Caceres, Bruce Leroy, compared to Arnold Allen, who's fighting Evloev and Holloway. Allen's just fought the better level of competition, and he is really tough to deal with for anybody outside of the top 5. So I think he gets it done here, and I'm going to pick him to finish Giga in the late second round by submission.
Oh man, everybody
did me and John pick the same exact way?
Same way.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Looks like John's been studying. All right, let's go.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Let's go to the next one. All right, we got a middleweight.
I'm glad my kids are awake because I love saying this guy's name.
Yeah, you got Christian Leroy Duncan. All right, coming in at 10-1 versus Gregory Rodriguez, 15-5. Now I've watched the show enough to know that this is the UFC's Barack Obama. All right. So
he's Obamatron, is what I call him.
Yeah,
Obamatron. He looks like Obama just did 2 years of straight DECA.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stick with that. I wanted to go with Leroy because you just gotta love saying Leroy, but I'm going Obamatron. All right, with double hammer fist to the kidneys. All right, so double hammer fist kidney strikes. All right, gonna knock him out in the second round.
All right, they'll get sillier, gentlemen.
Let's start with the guy with the same neck as Obamatron. Mark, who do you got in this one?
Hey, I'm for Gregory Rodriguez specifically just because he's from Brazil, and those guys, you don't mess with people from Brazil. And Mr. Duncan over there, whatever. Guy looks like, I don't know. He looks So I'm going for Gregory. I'm saying second round, straight up knockout, like to the face.
Oh man, there you have it. And then again, this time he didn't go by stats; he went by looks. So he's judging He went by the data in the first fight. He's going by the cover of the book on the second one. I like it. He's mixing everybody up. All right, John, who you got?
So I'm going with Leroy in this one. I think it's going to go all the way and go to decision for Leroy. He's 10-1, and I think Joe, you can correct me. I think his loss was by decision as well. It went all the way, correct? Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Leroy's winning this by decision.
John, you are so full of crap. Oh, I don't know anything about UFC. Oh, I don't know nothing. You are.
And now,
I just know a little bit, man.
And now Mark's gonna have to buy a shirt.
You only need to know 10% truth to sound smarter than Nick, anyways, Mark. So.
Yeah. Good.
Nick, trust me, Nick's having fun with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is nailing this is hitting all the buttons. So Trigger Joe, what say you as the expert?
I see these pictures and I see PICKEM by looks, telling you a little bit of a false narrative. As Lee Corso would say at the end of the desk, not so fast. I love saying this guy's name, but I swear at the end of the night, they're gonna say by TKO in the second round, Christian Leroy Duncan. Sorry, honey. So he looked great in his last fight. He looked super sharp, and MMA math doesn't work, but they both fought the same guy within the last two fights. Both won, but the way Leroy Duncan looked, especially in his last two, he's got a 5-inch reach advantage. He's never been knocked out. And Rodriguez, as big as those muscles are, they don't build muscles behind the jaw that pushes into the nerve, and he is a bit chinny. I've seen him knocked out by Bruno Ferreira, who is 5 inches than him. I've seen him wobbled by several guys that don't strike as good as Leroy Duncan. He's like Giant 1, but he's got 8 KO, never been knocked out. I say they stand and bang. This is going to be a striking match. Rodriguez, if he's smart, would try and get some takedowns in there because he's going to be outclassed on the feet. They call him RoboCop. That's his actual real nickname, and it's because of the way he looks, walks, fights, strikes. He's just not real. There's going to be a striking advantage for
I don't know. Is Joe coming in clear to you guys, or is it my computer? Yeah, that's all right. It'll come back. Joe, take a break.
So,
broken and retarded. All right, he's coming
in the second round.
All right, so you got knockout in the second round, Joe. You're a little jacked up, Joe. Hey,
my back.
Hey, no, reset your thing. We'll wait for you. We'll talk about this Rick Allen weirdo on frickin' YouTube while you reset it. So we got Rick Allen on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. All right, and we always like the YouTube comments because that's where you get the wild card ones. We got I'll put it back up here. We got boom. Do you dudes believe in an afterlife like Francis Ngannou does? What's your take on that, dudes? I don't know.
Lord Almighty.
Joe, what's the answer to this?
Yeah,
Okay.
Do we believe in the same afterlife that Francis Ngannou does? And is there any odds on it? And can we bet on it? Like, that's the main thing.
Oh, man, that's a good question, Rick. I don't know what Francis Ngannou believes in as far as an afterlife goes, and I wouldn't proclaim to have an intelligent opinion on it. I do know that Anthony Joshua put him in the shadow realm with a nice 1-2 combo, and his boxing career has an afterlife because it's over. But that's all I know about that. That's all I have to say about that.
There you go. Yeah, so there you have it, Rick. Yes, we do believe in an afterlife, except it's Francis Ngannou's boxing career. That shit's in the shadow realm. It's gone, right?
Yeah.
This is what it is. But okay, let's get to the next one. Now, is this a new name, Joe, for this guy?
Yes, he legally changed his name, but I am calling you Bobby Green for the rest of my life.
All right, so there is a background to this, Mark and John. Bobby Green on the fateful night, I believe it was Halloween, actually.
Halloween.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't normally go like 9 fight parlays. We usually stick to like 4 to 5. But we were like, let's get ballsy. We were winning a lot, and we did a 9 fighter. Right? And of course, that would have paid like $6,000. Right? I think it was like on $200.
Yeah.
And we, of course, like every other betting degenerate, we hit 8 of 9. And the one we didn't hit was Bobby fucking Green. All right. This guy right here. All right. And I think he was like a -400 favorite too. But he's coming in. The King Green. Coming in at 32-15-1. Versus, I don't know how this guy loses in England. All right. Paddy Pimblett. I don't know if he's not motivated. But Paddy the Batty. Paddy. I'm going to go with Paddy by Paddy Melt Strike. All right, those who don't know what that is, all right, it's a little bit of cheese and a little bit of burger, and it's going to be flat topped on his face. All right, I'm going Paddy Melt Strike, 3rd round. Let's go to John. Who do you got in this fight?
Well, first of all, I don't know how the guy can change his name legally to King when he
I thought that was illegal, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just has a above 500 average. Like, I don't really know him very well. For me and Joe, if I say this and it offends you, I apologize. But for me, Paddy, I think when I look at him and watch him fight, I look at him as Forrest Griffin. He's just a fighter. He never gives up. I'm going with Paddy in the 3rd round.
Mark, you hearing this shit? Like, he is bringing up references to other fighters, right? Like,
he's watching tape.
He's watching tape. This dude
he's in the film
hours
early.
Rewinding, stopping, right? Oh, this guy ducks his chin a little bit here in the second round, about 2-minute mark.
So it's like Mark, Kobe Bryant at the Olympics. He's in there 5 a.m. shooting free throws.
John, you couldn't tell me who won between Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz.
I was at that fight.
Yeah, you were there. That was a good fight. And Nick Diaz won because everybody said,
oh, I'm sorry. I was at the second one where Robbie won. But I know which one you're talking about. I was too young to be at that one.
Oh, you were too young.
Like to pay my own way and go out there.
Yeah,
like I didn't.
My way to Iraq again. Like
no, I didn't have it like that.
Yeah, I had it fun. So I'm going for the King Green himself, not Patty Melt. Because I don't like patty melts. They're too fatty. You know, like me, I eat
Waffle House patty melts.
No, that's too unhealthy for me. I eat chicken hearts and
baby hearts. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't do baby hearts.
Yeah.
And chicken livers. But I'm going for King Green. I'm saying go. It's going to go all the way down to a decision. So it's going to go all 3 rounds to a decision. But guy's got my pick just because John picked Patty.
Of course.
I mean, we're not going to have to worry about the way that they win or anything like that because you guys are picking opposite fighters. So this should be decided by this fight.
Opposite day.
The T-shirt will be over after this fight because there's only 2 more after that.
Yeah, well, John's hustling me right now. He's
big time. Big time. Yeah, so. But all right. The champ, Trigger Joe, what say you?
What this guy, a cool story about Bobby Green is when I went to see Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz 2 in Vegas, this was in 2021. Bobby Green was at the fight, and my cousin got us good seats. I ended up, long story short, I ended up talking to him and told him the whole story about how I ruined our parlay, and he got a good laugh out of it. But totally cool dude, really down to earth. I sat and talked to us the whole night. All those fighters are there. There's no Hollywood stuff amongst those guys, and if they are, they're pretty much looked at as assholes by the group. But Bobby was a really cool dude, and I've ruled him out and lost money on him so many times as far as the picks go, because you never know what version of him you're going to get. But this is the kind of night that Bobby Green loves to spoil. It's in his backyard. Patty's fighting in front of a bunch of people that are going to be cheering for him. And in his last fight, Bobby didn't lose a step. He absolutely destroyed Jim Miller. Some reps would have stopped that fight. It was so brutal. And Bobby just pieced him up. And my issue with Patty is that was a big, social media, not like that's not how he made his bones, but he had a huge following when he came over to the UFC. And so they're trying to push him and they're trying to promote him. And this is a big name on his resume. And he's fighting Bobby Green at a good time. He's got a couple of losses in his last 5, but he looked great in his last fight. And Patty hasn't impressed me in his last 3 fights. He's fighting lower level competition. This is a huge step up. And Bobby Green's going to be faster than him. He's going to be faster than him with his hands. He's going to hit him. And I believe it or not, I'm going with Mark, and I'm thinking Bobby ruins the night and wins the decision because I don't think Patty can finish him.
Hey, I don't know if I can say this because I don't want to promote gambling, but I'm putting money on this one. I'm taking my lunch money that my wife gives me, and I'm putting some money on Patty tonight or for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
He's got to finish him. I think if this thing goes to the cards, Bobby's going to have him way ahead on the significant strikes. He stays busy, and man, he likes to throw his shots up the pipe. And Patty's real looping, and he's going to be there to be hit, and so is Bobby. So we'll see. This will be a great fight. It's a pick'em in Vegas. It's a minus 110 on both sides.
Tune in to this fight.
Yep.
That's what
even Vegas doesn't know who's going to win.
All right, let's go to the co-main event of the evening, which is a belt fight, which is awesome. So there's 2 belts on this card, and we got Tom Aspinall on this heavyweight. Now, the interim championship, Joe, why is it an interim championship?
Because John Jones won the title, then got hurt really bad, and now he's facing a whole new litany of trouble. So we might never see John Jones fight again. Who knows? Yeah. But I tell you one thing: they won't feed John Jones to Tom Aspinall. They won't let him go out like that. No, it'll be like when Rocky Marciano fought Joe Louis. It's not. It's wrong time.
Joe, I think my dad was like 7 when that happened. What happened in that fight?
Rocky Marciano about ended his life. He said it haunted him for the rest of his career, beating up on Joe Louis like that. Georgie, what's up, buddy? You want some commentary on this? My 3-year-old's talking.
Yeah.
What's he think?
Yeah, what does George think?
He wants me to be done talking on the phone and go out on the trampoline is what he wants.
Yeah. So we got Aspinall at 14-3 versus Curtis Blades at 18-4. Now, every time I look at Curtis Blades, right, I think about Mr. T, right, like from the A-Team. It's like a pretty fool, right? And it just Tom Aspinall. The last thing I remember from him is he tried to step back one time and his knee went out. All right, so
against Curtis Blades.
Yeah, he obviously has weak genes, right? And so I'm gonna go with Curtis Blades with the Levi Strauss choke. All right, look it up. It's a real thing because of the weak genes that Tom has. He's coming in with a Levi Strauss choke. All right, so in the first round. All right, Mark, you got Curtis by Levi Strauss choke in the first round.
You said I got a soft heart, so I'm going to go with the guy with the weak genes because everybody always said I had weak genes, and every day I try to tell people who's going to carry the boats. This guy right here.
You ran 100 miles. Who said you have weak genes?
Yeah, who said that?
I was going to say, was that directly from Goggins? Because he might be one of the only ones that's allowed to say that to you.
Hey, I'll let you know on September 7th, man. When he only bikes 10 miles and says I quit, man.
It's all right, man. It's all right. I know how far this darkness can go. But I'm calling for Tom.
Tom, and how's Tom going to win?
Well, I have no idea because I've never seen this guy fight. So John's going to come out with some like.
Don't worry, John's going to tell you.
John's going to be like, I just didn't like him, when he was with Forrest Whitaker over there,
Spot on impression. That's verbatim.
and
hold on a second. For my calculations, it wasn't a knockout technically, so it was a TKO.
Listen, man, I'm just going by looks because the guy looks like he is a typical staff officer who does nothing but CrossFit. And that dude is like, he's just, it's not weak genes. It's this thing in your mind. You're looking to the guy to the right who looks like an infantryman who like he could carry the whole entire mortar tube himself. So I go for the guy who's the staff
and the rounds.
Yeah. So I go to the guy on the left, the staff officer.
Yeah. Well, we all know that CrossFit's for small boys and women. So it's no offense. Like, look how many muscle ups I can do. You weigh 105 pounds, bro. Fucking relax. All right. So, all right. Yeah. John, who do you got in this fight?
Hey, I'm sorry, man. That was funny. Hey, I gotta actually stay with Mark on this one. I'm going with Tom. I think Tom's just gonna run around the ring and wear out Curtis. I'll go. You know what? I'll go. Tom wears his ass out in the third round and gives him a lick on the chin.
Ooh, third round, huh? Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a 5-rounder, right, champion?
No, this is a 5-rounder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5-rounder.
Hey, are you allowed to go? Are you allowed to reverse your statement?
Yeah, you can.
Hey, I'll go 4th round. Licks him on the chin in the 4th round.
Okay, 4th round on the chin. Mark disagrees, but I'm making an executive decision on the show. I'm letting John go back. So
yes,
it is what it is. But all right, Trigger Joe, what say you?
I tell you, if you placed a bet on this fight to see the 4th round, it's probably about plus 600. I think this thing's going to be over in about 7.5 minutes.
That's not good, John. If he says plus 600 means that it's not. It's a big under.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. The over under on the rounds is 1.5 in Vegas. That's what they think is going to happen. And the reason being is because Tom Aspinall's been on a tear. He's finished everything in front of him. He hasn't been out of the 2nd round yet, and he's finished guys by sub. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he's a phenomenal boxer. I mean, Tyson Fury is in Tom Aspinall's gym training when he's got a fight camp. So this guy can box. Curtis Blades is a phenomenal wrestler, and he's got a gas tank for a heavyweight. So he's going to want to push it and use his wrestling, and I don't think he's going to be able to get him down. I got Aspinall bloodying him up and staggering him in the 1st and finishing him off early in the 2nd round by KO.
Hey, so
nice.
So my wife doesn't let me bet, but pennies on the dollar. Like I'm only allowed to take the pennies out of the jar and bet. So can I? No, I mean, I'll just take my lunch money she gives me. But is there a way I can bet that it'll go to the 4th round?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw some odds on that one. 4th round.
$5 pay 300. So
we're doing it.
It's called an underdog. That's usually what the clown picks get. Right? You bet on the clown picks, you get paid off. Right? Everybody just Vegas is like, are you sure you want to put money on this? Yep. It's happening. They're like, okay, like they got to call the pit boss over. This guy's splitting queens. Like,
it's that'd be wild if that happened because Tom Aspinall fights like you get tased if you see the 3rd round. I tell you, he goes out there to finish it in 10 minutes. He's a finisher, but Curtis Blades is going to be a little bit bigger, and he's taking guys down bigger than him. Curtis Blades has. So his wrestling's where he hangs his hat, and Aspinall is just a pure finisher. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's a great boxer. So
the problem with Joe's internet, it's my internet. I'm reconnecting now. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, something's going on with mine. Been a weird night so far.
I feel like this fight here is like John versus Mark with the weight difference.
Well, I think Aspinall is going to come in around 240, and Curtis Blades fights at the limit, 265. But their first fight was when Aspinall blew his knee out 15 seconds into the first round. He just hopped, hit his butt, grabbed his knee, and it was over with.
Yeah.
So, but he's destroyed everybody. He's fought, took about a year off, and he's fought twice. And the last fight he had was against Sergey Pavlovich, who has destroyed everybody he's fought. And then Aspinall hit him with the 1-2. And when they're 250 pounds, 4-ounce gloves, it doesn't really need to be pinpoint accuracy. If it hits your face, you're in trouble, especially if it's clean. And I think that one was more of a skip hook that the other guy kind of parried it, so it skipped off his temple when it was going for his chin, and it still knocked him silly to where he was able to finish him off.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I never really I've seen both of them fight once, but I'm not seriously, Mark, I'm not kidding. I don't know much about these two.
They're kind of playing a game with Aspinall being the interim champion, and everyone kind of going, yeah, he'd probably be John Jones, and John Jones is still the champion, but he's supposed to fight Stipe Miocic, who's 43 years old, and saying Aspinall's got to get in line. It's because they won't feed John Jones to Aspinall, because then you lose that cash cow.
Yeah,
they want John Jones to win 3 or 4 more fights for him, but they're going to have to hand pick them, because there's some killers at the heavyweight division that are just turning 30, which is really young for a heavyweight.
But so Nick gave it out on us. He quit on us.
No, he'll refresh and be back. Yeah, there he is.
This stupid Marine has me buy this expensive ass computer, and I'm like, I should have just done it from my iPhone. I wouldn't have had any problems. But here I got this freaking whatever
crane eater over here, baking muffins.
Crane over here getting me all screwed up.
Quit being a cheap ass and buy a better internet.
No, I got this thing called like 1,000 gigs or something. I don't know what that shit means, right? Like, but I know I pay a lot of money for it. But it's maybe I should call them and tell them. Like,
I've got Windows 6 and a Dream over here. That's it.
And then again, the baker says, look at this guy blaming the missus on his rifle. All right, like, hey, right? Like I said at the beginning of the show, I always thought I was the coolest, best guy in the room. It's not my fault.
Did he just call himself the missus?
Yeah, exactly. So like if I don't hit the target, it's not my fault. Obviously the bullet was bad. Like
exactly.
I did everything perfect. So no, it is what it is. All right, what did I miss? Are we going on to the next one? And what'd you say, Joe?
No, I got Aspinall.
Okay, perfect. All right, now to the main event, and we got a welterweight fight. And we got Leon Edwards, all right, 22-3 versus Bilal Muhammad, all right, 23-3. Big records. All right, I'll do my Trump impersonation. Big, beautiful records. Everybody knows it. Everybody's been saying it. I've been calling this fight for years. Everybody knows what's going to happen. So I haven't called this finish in a while. All right, it's been a minute. Well, I'm going to go Bilal Muhammad, all right, by countdown in the 3rd round. All right, countdown.
Wow.
Right. So if none of you know what that means, he's gonna start counting down from 10, right? And Leon's gonna jump out of the fucking ring. So it's gonna be a DQ. So I'm going Bilal by countdown. Right now, I know some of these guys can endorse that pick, but I'm out, so I can. All right. So I'm going Bilal by countdown. All right, disqualification, 3rd round. All right, let's go to John. Who do you got in the main event?
Well, I want to bet that someone's going to have 23 wins after this and someone's going to have 4 losses. Can I do that?
Yes.
Hey, so I'm going Leon Edwards. I've seen him fight several times. To me, I think he's an animal, and I think he's going to take this dude out. So I'll go. Man, I think this one will go 3. So because this is for the belt, right?
Yeah, it'll go 5. There's 5 rounds scheduled.
Yeah, I think he gets him in the 3rd round. And I think he's gonna get him in the gut and send him to the ground.
Ooh, a liver shot?
Yep, 3rd round.
Ooh, yeah. We actually didn't I actually call one of those ones, Joe? Like, I think it was one of those kicks. I was like, I didn't call it by kick, but I go, it's gonna be one of those shots where the guy poops his pants and literally got liver kicked, and I'm like, the clown pick was spot on. So liver kick.
That's not too wild of a call either. Not for the way Leon Edwards throws his kicks.
Yeah, weird how John knows exactly what's going to happen. Let's go to baby hearts over there. All right, Mark, what do you got there, old turkey neck?
Well, first I'm calling the Federal Trade Commission on John because he's got I don't know what insider information this kid's got, but he's over here on the phone. So I'm calling Leon Edwards, kick to the face, 2nd round.
Nice. There, stay there. All right, the champ. What say you in the main event?
We're all riding in the same car on this one. These guys truly dislike each other. The problem is Bilal Muhammad. Oh my God! It's like, dude, I kind of want you to be somewhat cool, so I don't look like the veteran tearing at the guy with the name from the Middle East. But you're such a lame ass, and I can't stand his fight style. The first fight, Leon absolutely dog walked him in the 1st round, wobbled him, had him on Queer Street, put him down to one knee. And the 2nd round, Leon throws a jab and it, sinks 2 knuckles into Bilal's eye socket, and the fight ends. Well, Bilal's walking around saying he's the real champ, and it's like, hang on a second, dude. With no referee, you might have died in that 1st round.
Yeah.
In a street fight. And I just don't like the way he's been so arrogant and brash about, he would have won the fight. And it's like, well, not on the sample size that I've gotten. He looked like he was getting owned on the feet. Leon's much bigger. He's going to be much faster when it comes to the striking. He's got great defensive wrestling. He's really good at fighting half the man to stay out of shot range. And Bilal's a diehard wrestler. And Leon doesn't mind waiting until you open up for that head kick, as he waited 24 minutes and 10 seconds in a 25-minute fight to win the belt with the head kick heard around the world. I think the live odds, he was a plus 5,000 underdog when he landed that head kick. Just to say, they call him Rocky for a reason. That's his nickname. Doesn't give up. He's always in the fight. And
nothing is over.
Nothing is over until I hear that bell. I got Leon here. He's not gonna lose in the UK. That's in his backyard. He's gonna have the fan base. The fan base is really gonna be sauced up and booing Bilal when he comes out, and they're all gonna be behind Leon. I don't think he lets him down here. I got Leon Edwards abusing Bilal for 2 rounds and knocking him out in the 3rd, just like John. So
nice. Just like John. John is picking with the expert on most of the picks today. And
it's either a crazy coincidence or it looks bad.
No. There is no coincidence here. John's been studying. All right.
Something stinks here. No.
I like his patience. That's what I like when I watch him.
Oh,
Leon never panics.
Mark, you're muted.
Yeah.
What's up, Mark?
John.
What?
John.
What?
John's like, not so much in his last fight, but 3 fights before. I mean, I like his picture. Is what I meant to say.
I think I'm
on that one.
10 miles. Oh, I think I got a cramp in my leg. I can't ride.
Yeah. You got a crap relay. You can't ride. He's done. No, that's we won't segue to that yet. We get to the best part of the show, which is how do we make money? All right. Now, Bill, the artillery guy, again, not here, getting his uterus removed so he can go sign up for the infantry. I don't know if they're going to allow you to do that as a sergeant major, but who knows?
So
I'll call
do
somebody, right? I'll call Troxel. Troxel will make it happen. All right, he'll get you in there. But they'll give you an e-tool or whatever. But okay, Joe, give us the Big Earl 4-legger. Now, those of you that watch it for the first time or listening, right? The Big Earl's 4-legger. Joe picks that. And I like to go a little less stress at just 4 fights that are kind of favorites, not like nothing crazy, and just try to make a little bit of scratch. And this is how I bet. I write down everything that they say, as you can see. Okay. When the experts, when Bill's on here and Joe's on here, I bet about $5 to $10 per fight. Okay. Just a little scrap change. And then I put 75 on the parlay. That way, if the parlay loses, which they always do, because Vegas has big buildings for a reason, all right, because Bobby fucking Green shows up and doesn't win, right? So that happens. And so maybe you just make it like a $40 loss because you hit some of the other individual fights and then the parlay lost. But when the parlay hits, which a couple of them have this year, I think we're up 175 on the parlays. I just did the numbers. We're up 175 this year. So Joe, what is the Big Earl 4-legger?
All right, we're gonna stay in the order that I usually do them, and that is from the prelims up. My first pick is gonna be Colin Loughran. He's a Irish prospect, if you couldn't tell by the last name, over Jake Hadley. I think Hadley's taken this card because it's in Manchester and that's where he's from, and he's really being fed to a younger prospect that's gonna tear him up pretty bad. So I got Colin Loughran in that fight. And then we're going to go up to Arnold Allen. I just think that Giga's style is very one-dimensional compared to Arnold's, and Arnold's going to find a way to implement his offense and win that fight. Then I'm going up to Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades, ending inside of a round and a half. I just don't think when these 265ers throw punches as clean as Tom Aspinall does and have ankle lock submission wins in their resume. This guy's a finisher, and he doesn't want to. He likes to make it a short night. So I feel pretty comfortable about that one ending inside of a round and a half. And then I got Leon Edwards. I just don't think he loses in the UK, and not to a guy like Bilal Muhammad, who is going to try to rustle him the whole time. And I think Leon at worst wins 3 out of the 5 rounds and maintains his belt.
All right, that parlay is a plus 334, so $75, which I'm going to put on that fight tonight. On that parlay, pays $325. All right, so again, the Big Earls aren't that stressful, right? You're probably going to lose, so that's that disclaimer. Like, don't bet if you don't have any money, right? But like, if you watched the ad previous to the show, I have financial advisors, so I'm allowed to bet $75. So they do that, and so bet $75. If you hit it, hey, you're good for the next 6 months of betting the Big Earl's $75 one. Does that math make sense? 5 months. 5 months. All right, 5 months of it. So that's what that is. All right, hey, who do you guys got? Give us a bet. Where's your money gonna go? All right, Mark, if you had $100, are you doing a parlay or are you doing a single bet?
Actually, if I had $100, I'd go ahead and invest it. And then I would invest that money.
Stop. To what? Make $1.05? Come on. We're trying to make money here. We're talking about practice. Right?
Mark, we're going to pretend you didn't say that. And the next thing you say is going to be something irresponsible. Now, what would you do? No, I'm just kidding.
I
Who's freezing? Am I freezing?
No. It's Mark thinking $100 is a lot of money to invest.
I'm thinking about what I could buy.
Are you investing in crypto? Like are you buying Bitcoin when it was like at 5 cents? Like you make a lot of money then. But sorry. We're far away. I can make fun of you.
Yeah. So I probably would honestly take that $100 and I'd probably buy a couple bins of protein. That's about it.
Maybe that. Yeah. No, but if you had, all right, let's say I laid $100 bet on you for the Salute to Sacrifice Foundation, and the proceeds go to it. Who am I betting it on?
So here's my bet. My bet is that I will outride John.
So you want me to do?
Not gonna happen.
Okay. Well, no, you got to win money, Mark, to donate.
Is that how it works, Nick?
Yes, you got like pick.
No time in here, man. Keep us grounded here, bro.
Give me a fight or a parlay or a round that you're confident in, and I'll put 100 on it. And
I'm not confident in anything right now.
Well, just pick one.
I'll go with the expert on this one. Everything he said, minus a round.
So 3 picks. You want a 3-fight parlay?
Yeah, everything he said minus a round.
Okay. So I'll put 100 on that 3-fighter, and then the proceeds will go to the Salute to Sacrifice. All right, John, give me a $100 bet.
All right. Well, so even though I already did my picks, I'm throwing 100 on. Hold on, who's this guy's name? The Curtis Blades.
You've been Googling stuff this whole time.
I just
using the Googleizer.
I just pulled up their name. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on, Google's here for me.
$100 on Curtis because
buy a computer instead of protein. That way you could use both. Yeah.
Because Joe said that. I mean, it's pretty. Obviously anything can happen, but realistically, Tom's probably going to win, right?
Yeah.
But hey, you throw $100 on Curtis, you're going to win some good money.
All right, $100 on the underdog. I tell you what, I'm going to do 100 on both of those, and then, like I said, the proceeds will go to the Salute to Sacrifice. Now, at this point of the show is when we usually give a big shout out to the Gold Star Teen Adventures. So we're not going to do that because Bill's getting his uterus taken out, and he's getting testicles put back in, and he's going to join the infantry. We've already figured that out. So Bill, that's what you're going to do. And say hi to Fort Sill, Oklahoma for us. Gross. All right, where all you artillery guys are hanging out at. But John, Mark, awesome what you guys are doing for the Salute to Sacrifice in 9/11. So give us one more rundown on how people can donate. There's something that Chris just put up on the screen, and then what you guys are doing, and then we'll end the show.
Yeah, obviously, if you're on, you can scan the QR code, or you can go to the Facebook page to Salute to Sacrifice and look at the narrative, and it'll have the donation page in there, the link. And again, we're going to travel from here to the Pentagon on bicycles, 6 of us, and then head over to the United 93 over in Pennsylvania, and then over to the World Trade Center. Overall, it'll take us right around 4 days. We'll leave on the 7th, get there on the 11th if my infantry calculations are right, and Mark doesn't sandbag on his rides. And it's a total of 1,200 miles.
Nice. So there you have it, fight fans. Awesome. Make sure you get your bets in. And the last thing I'll ask, which I always do on the pay-per-views, Joe, worth the $79.99 or not? No, he says. Okay, I thought with 2 belts on the line, it would.
Man, it's $80 or having my morning coffee on Sunday and watching it for free.
Yeah.
Do I need to see it right now tonight for $80? No.
Yeah.
And it's Bilal and Leon being the headliner. They're more of a co-headliner, and then one more superstar fight on here, and I'd be all over it.
Yeah, there you have it, fight fans. And again, this is very subjective, but Joe and Bill will tell you 100% when they're like, yes, I'm buying this. All right, so like there are fight cards where they have been like, yep, buy it. So they're saying, watch this Sunday morning, all right, with your coffee. That being said, I'm the Big Earl. All right, Veteran Trash Talk. We are not doing a show on Saturday. It's our last weekend off for vacation, but we got some big shows coming up that we already got lined up. Some powerhouses, and there's the belt. Hopefully
Tell Bill he has to show up to the show if he wants to take this from me.
I mean, we can pull that card. You know, we are infantry guys, and he'll try to protest. But
you're disqualified, Bill.
You're disqualified, Bill. You didn't even show up. But anyways, pleasure having you guys on, Mark and John. And again, congrats on your retirement, John. You know, everybody always tries to think that they don't do enough. I never thought that. I was shit. But like, no, it's you shaped a lot of lives, brother, and we're really proud of you, and look forward to seeing what you're doing in the future. Hey, maybe your future podcast, and do a little fight picking because apparently you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe we can go against Joe in the future.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys, we will see you
absolutely